Hey everyone, what's happening? Lex back today for another Brawl Stars video, and today we have a very special guest with us. The one, the only, the voice actor for Poco in Brawl Stars, Darren Roebuck. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, just peachy. Darren, we got a lot of people that are really excited to get to meet you. They've been playing you in game for a long time, and
cool.
It sounds weird to say playing you in game, but yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a Gemini. I like long walks on the beach, and which is actually both are true. It's as silly and dating game-like as that sounded. So I live in Boulder, Colorado. If you see me here, I'm in my recording studio. Work from home and have been for a long time. I've been a professional voice actor since 2013, and it's been my full-time job since the end of 2015.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm one of those guys that really just tries to do everything voiceover. But one of the niches I've found myself in is just time and time again is doing characters for video games, which I got to tell you is the coolest thing ever.
Heck yeah, it is. And this works out perfect. So how did you get into voice acting?
Well, I can give you the long story.
Hey, you give me whatever story you want, because I know how to use the splice tool in Adobe Premiere. So.
All right. So it starts here, and then you'll hear this sound, and then it'll end.
Exactly.
It's a truly random, a really random way I wound up being a voice actor. I honestly, I tell people, it's like I feel like I'm the guy who fell into the river and came up with pockets full of fish. It was just like sheer luck. I've been a musician since I was a little kid, and always fascinated with recording. To the point that, like, my sister, who also is like an acting degree, and she's been a professional actress in a lot of things. She and I, when we were kids, we like found our grandma's tape recorder with a little microphone, and we'd start making up our own little radio shows just to kill time. Both of us were into it. I just thought recording was cool as hell. And when I bought my house back in 2001, one of the big goals was to create a music recording studio in my house. So I had been developing that over time, and I was making like half my living as a professional musician at that point. Then I'd sort of quit my day job, and at the same time, I had been playing Words with Friends, you know, that sort of like Scrabble video game. So I'd been playing that and was just playing the next person up on the list. Like whoever had the next highest ranking than me, I just challenged them to a game. So there was this woman who was the next person up from me, and we started playing, and we were really good competitors for each other. We started chatting after a few games, and she mentioned that she was a DJ on a pirate radio station. And I thought, how cool. I was playing in a reggae band at the time, and I was like, do you want to interview my band? And she said, sure. So the singer and I was playing guitar in that band. The singer and I went over to their studio, which was in just the basement of a house at an undisclosed location. And the producer of the station was sitting there during our interview. And I made some comment. I don't even remember what I said, but it was about like, oh, I could do this. And the guy goes, well, we can arrange that. And so the next Saturday I had my own show. And I did 75 Saturday mornings in a row. Doing my own pirate radio show, making it up just however I wanted to. It was pirate radio. There's no rules. You can do anything. And after I'd done this for about a year and a half, some friends started to say, oh, well, you could be a voice actor on that website, and you could be a voice actor on that website. And so I was like, okay. And I signed up and immediately started getting gigs. Then really it was just the journey of doing it over and over and over and over and over again, and started making more money, and then realizing, hey, I can actually make a living doing this. And then I started getting actual coaching, and then I upgraded some of my studio equipment, then totally remodeled my studio. And here I am, you know, almost 10 years later from when all that first started, and now I'm making my living as a voice actor.
That's crazy, man. And one thing that I found interesting, and this is literally the most asked question, because I asked my viewers, you know, do you have any questions for Poco? Mm-hmm. And they said the number one question was, does he play guitar?
I do.
And here you go.
Yeah, and so when I actually had the audition for that part, and I knew that it was a guitar playing part, but also I was like, who is this character? And I was like, this character is me when I was 13, when I first started playing guitar. And if I could bring that enthusiasm to it, as well as like, how did that version of me want to be this over the top thing? I've had the really great benefit of having one of my acting coaches be Debbie Derryberry. I'm not sure if you know who she is, but she's the voice of Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, wow, okay.
Hey there, boy, you want a bone? Huh? You want a treat?
If you look her up on IMDb, she's been in absolutely every animated film. And she's been the main characters in a bunch of things. If you know the show F is for Family, she's, I think, 4 characters on that currently.
Wow.
She's a total
What a great person to teach.
Total top tier person, really good about characters in particular. And one of the things that she told me when we first started working together, that's always been one of my mantras when I do anything voiceover, is ramp up the acting, ramp up the acting, ramp up the acting. So whenever I feel like I've done a good job making a recording, I always do it again, trying to be even bigger than the time before. Doing that has definitely got me gigs, Poco being one of them.
My biggest question is, when you were 13, you were a Undead Mariachi?
Yes.
That's what I figured. All right, cool. Settled there. Oh.
That's
so
right.
when you...
I leapt off the ofrenda, picked up my guitarron, and went for it.
This was actually one of the things that caught me by surprise. You look at the character, and we had all played him for a long time didn't have any voice acting, and it's a skeleton mariachi, and to have the voice that you did for it, which I'm sure they gave you like some direction, like this is what we're looking for. Then you this voice, you're like, wait a second, I wasn't expecting that, but it's cool.
Yeah, and they gave the direction based off of a Ninja Turtle, and really it was just more about the enthusiasm that they wanted. They wanted him to sound like a young rock star, confident, basically all that, like just basically the guy who is super happy to be front and center. So they sound young, but it's that unstoppable energy.
That's awesome. Did you play electric or acoustic guitar?
I play both. If you walked into my music studio, I've got 12 of them on the wall. I'm one of those guys. I got a problem.
That's okay. As an aside, I hand built acoustic guitars professionally for about 20 years. So
cool.
Oh,
yeah. Do I play guitar? Yeah, 36 years.
36 years. Yep. You got me. I've probably only done it for about 20 something years. So you said you've been doing a lot of work for video games and something you really enjoy. What are some of the other games that you've been in that we may know?
Well, the one that people know is from Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm Toy Freddy from the Ultimate Custom Night, and then the latest Five Nights at Freddy's AR mobile release from Illumix.
If I get jump scared, you get jump scared.
Wow, I would have not, you caught me off guard there. I would not have expected that. My son was literally playing Five Nights at Freddy just yesterday.
For Poco and for Toy Freddy, the journey was the same. I had no idea that it was even a thing. I just got, they didn't tell me what the name of the thing was. I got the name of the character, but that was it. I didn't get any visual. I just had some kind of random instruction that made me laugh. And because it made me laugh, I could make fun of it. And making fun of it is just one of those things that for me, even if it's for like a straight like e-learning read or something like that, if I can make fun of the voice and do it a little over the top, I get the gig. So in this case, I was like, I can have fun with this thing. And so I did it. I got paid. I didn't know it. I asked the guy, just like with Poco, I asked if, you can tell me when it's released. And neither of them communicated with me after that. and then I go on Facebook one day and there's a message for me and I check it and it's from a stranger, very respectfully asking if I would sign his toy. And I'm like, huh? Like a fan? A toy? I'm like, this is blowing my mind. Like, this is really weird. Like, I have no idea. So I mentioned it to some friends later that evening, and one of my friends works at our local Target store. And she's like, oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is huge. We have the bed sheets and the plush toys. And I'm just like, I have no idea about this. So I posted about it on Facebook, and tons of my friends that are parents write back going, oh, we love that game. My kids love that game. She's like, I'm so cool to my kids now because I know Freddy.
That's awesome.
And I'm blown away. Like, I had no idea it was even a thing in the universe. I thought this was a very brand new game that was still in development. But what a lot of people don't realize, and what I didn't realize until I had done it a bunch of times, you know, in the world of video game production, they're very careful about having any information about it get out before it's released. As a voice actor, they don't tell me the name of it. Oftentimes I'm lucky to know the name of my character. Typically, the voice happens kind of early to mid in the production of it. So by the time they finished it, they're not thinking about me anymore. And so, or any of the other cast. And so they don't really send us the links, you know, and I look at it like, okay, it's just another gig and now move on, you know, and, you know, one day I'm playing a video game and the next day I'm doing some IT explainer video. It's, you know.
So you had no idea that this was for a mobile game from Supercell when you were doing this?
I did not. I did not know anything other than the name and that they wanted to fashion it after that character. That was it. It was like my experience with it was actually rather limited. So when you sent me the invitation to do this, I actually was like, had to kind of look it up again because I recorded this over a year ago, and that's kind of a lot of water under the bridge for a voice actor's memory. And started looking it up again and was like, oh, this is another one of those things.
That's awesome. So you didn't even realize that you were in that game that has been downloaded 100 million times.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that I got to be the one to inform you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's one of those things that it's a surprise that I don't know if anyone in any other type of field could actually have in their world. The first time I actually saw the character was yesterday.
The first time you saw Poco was yesterday?
I sort of hate to say that to the fans out there, but yeah, you know, they didn't send me anything. Like I said, they're protecting everything, so they send as little as possible.
Mm-hmm. So you said you were like an IT explainer vid, or, you know, I think that a lot of people, some people understand, but a lot of people don't understand that, you know, voice actors, they see the video games part, at least the people that are going to be watching this video, and they don't realize that you've got a lot of other stuff that you're doing, like commercials and other stuff. Do you do any like anime stuff as well?
I have auditioned for some anime stuff, but that's a really particular voice.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the ones where you really have to live in that world to get it. It's almost like going from a left-hand drive car to a right-hand drive car. It's the same, but it's not.
Right. It's I can drive, but not from that side.
Not like that. This has a learning curve.
What's your favorite voice to do? If you had to be like one that you're just like, yeah, like when people ask me for a cool voice, that's the one that I go to.
So I grew up in Southern California, and I was like a surfer kid and all that, and so kind of like my normal like dude, like my dude bro kind of voice. Like that's always one that I really like to do because I can make fun of it, but I also fully embody it because I grew up with it. And I also like doing Texas kind of guys, you know, like Southerners. So for me, those are just fun ones to do.
What was your first ever gig in voice acting?
Oh man, this is cool.
All right, I'm already excited.
This, you know, I'm not a super spiritual person, but sometimes there's these signposts that show up that just say you're on the right path, and they're undeniable. This one so appealed to my sense of humor that I knew this was the job for me. I was like, if this was the first gig I ever got, I was like, I'm on the right path. I got paid $5 to say, prepare the syringe for a Canadian death metal band.
Prepare the syringe. All right.
The best $5 I ever made.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So is there any like dream job, any dream gig that you would just like, man, if there's one thing I could do, I would love to do that. Yeah,
the main character on an animated series, 100%. That's, you know, that's the top level, is being a recurring character on a, you know, major series, a Rick and Morty or a Simpsons or something like that.
Would you mind doing some of the voice lines?
I actually like some of the negative ones, you know. Wow, dude! That one was funny. I'm turning it up to 11! Hey, you broke my guitar! Power chord! That was probably my favorite one. That one was in the audition too, and I said that so many times and absolutely just like totally distorted that line and made myself laugh that I had that much volume come out of my face.
So Darren, where can everybody find you online? Do you have like, Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff, or?
Yeah, I don't do too much on Twitter, but I'm definitely on Instagram as Darren Roebuck, and I'm on Facebook as Darren Roebuck or DJR Voiceover. And then djrvoiceover.com is my website. So if you want to listen to other stuff I've done or my demos or any of that kind of thing, know people that want to hire a voice actor, that's a good place to send them.
Is there anything that, like any kind of story or something that you would like, you would want to say that I haven't just led into?
Well, as far as the people out there that play games, thank you. We're so grateful for you guys and the passion you have for our art form. It's just the best thing that you guys love what we do. For the people out there that are voice actors, stick with it. Keep getting your training and keep trying for that next thing, because it's a cool lifestyle. And when it's a long road, but man, when the curve starts to get steep for you, it's a really great feeling, and there's so much of it to do.
Awesome, man. Well, Darren, thank you so much for coming onto the channel. I know everybody's been really excited to get to, meet you for the first time here. We really do appreciate your time. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, until next time,
right,
we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Thank you so much for having me, and take care, everybody. See you next time.